Hi, this is Tom Brady with Vintage American Realty, Director of Operations. We're located in Oakdale, New York. This is a list of buyer agent documents, forms you'll need in 2025 when working as a buyer's agent. The first form you'll need is the New York State Disclosure Form for buyer and seller. You'll need this at first substantive contract, and you'll need this virtually any deal you do if it's residential. All right. Next, you'll need every deal, every substantive contact, New York State Housing and Anti-Discrimination Disclosure Form. All right, then as a buyer's agent, you're going to either need the exclusive buyer contract or the non-exclusive buyer contract. All right, you need one or the other when working as a buyer's agent. This is recommended confirmation of seller's agreement to compensate buyer's broker from sale proceeds if you're expecting to get paid by the seller. All right, next we have the offer sheet. Then lead paint if the house was built before 1978. And finally, buyer's rights regarding property condition disclosure. So let's get started. We're not going to go over every document in detail. We'll do that in other shorter videos. This is just to show you what you need. All right, you're going to need the agency disclosure every time when dealing residential, all right? So this is self-explanatory. I'm sure you all know how to fill it out. You're going to need that. What if they refuse to sign? Then you're going to need this sworn declaration by real estate licensee if they refuse to sign. Okay, they usually sign it when you explain it properly. Next, you'll need the New York State Housing and Anti-Discrimination Disclosure Form for every deal first substantive contact. All right, this is the exclusive buyer representation agreement. All right, you'll fill that out if you're an exclusive relationship. If you're non-exclusive, you'll fill out this. Sometimes you need to start as non-exclusive until they learn to trust you, and then you can go over and do an addendum and make the non-exclusive buyer representation into an exclusive buyer representation agreement. If things don't go well and you need to terminate it, this is the form you would use to terminate the buyer agency agreement. Okay, and again, you only need that if you're terminating the agreement earlier than the contract. Okay, this is the confirmation that the seller is going to pay you. So if you're expecting to get paid by the seller, you should try and get this filled out. And then if there's a disagreement, you have something to stand on in arbitration, and you should win if you have this document filled out. Okay, there's the offer sheet. You're going to need that with pretty much any offer you put in. Pretty self-explanatory, but we'll do that in another video. Lead paint, if the house is built before 1978, you'll need a lead paint. It'll come, the seller will fill out their portion, and then the buyer will fill out their portion later on. Okay, and the final document is the buyer's rights regarding property condition disclosure. Okay, and you can get that filled out for the buyer also. Those are the forms that you'll need when working as a buyer's agent in 2025. And like I say, we'll go over each form individually in short videos. Thank you.